Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and it is time to talk about Daniel Ek. Ever since the European Super League collapsed, Arsenal's campaign to get the Kroenke out of the club has stepped up. We saw huge protests outside the Emirates ahead of their defeat to Everton, while Twitter and social media have been awash with #Kroenke out. Even the likes of Ian Wright, an Arsenal legend, has been demanding change. But could that change come in the shape of Spotify founder Daniel Ek? During the protest, the Swedish businessman tweeted out that he'd be interested in buying the Gunners if the owners were willing to sell. Ek is an Arsenal fan and reportedly has the backing of some Arsenal legends in Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira and Dennis Bergkamp. On top of that, he also appeared on TV to confirm that he has the funds required and that he intends to submit a formal offer to buy the club. Is he the man Arsenal want though? I mean, Spotify is hardly the most ethical of companies, but he's also a person who wants to see Arsenal do well and might put in the money required to get the team where they used to be. And also, why is he dragging the whole process through the media? That to me is an immediate red flag, but we'll see in the near future if Ek is capable of completing a takeover at the Emirates. But what if it did happen? Well, using Football Manager 2021, I'm going to find out. I've gone on the editor and the Kroenkes are no more. They've left Arsenal and the new owner is Daniel Ek. Since he loves the club, he's wiped all the debt, and I've put him down as a foreground sugar daddy owner to ensure that he pumps whatever money he can make from Stormzy and Maroon 5 into the club. I've reduced the balance slightly as Ek is actually worth less than the Kroenkes, but I've upped the budgets as he'll no doubt want to spend more. And on top of that, the club have got a new sponsor in the shape of Spotify. They'll be paying Arsenal £500 million across 5 seasons, with the likes of Dua Lipa, Ed Sheeran and Lewis Capaldi all playing halftime shows, as Premier League fans far and wide stop paying for Spotify Premium to ensure that they're not boosting Arsenal's transfer budget. I'm going to simulate 6 years into the future and we'll check in after 3, so let's see if Daniel Ek can take Arsenal back to the top. Let's go. Okay, here we are at the start of the simulation, the 27th of July 2020, and as you'll see, there is the owner, Swede Daniel Ek, a very, very rich man, and a man who Arsenal fans hope can take them back to the top of the table. You'll also notice I've only gone and got a bloody badge pack. Oh, we're moving up in the world here. I haven't done the face pack yet, that'll come in the coming week or so. You know, it's a work in progress. Trust the process, as Mikel Arteta always says. Anyway, let's simulate 3 years into the future. Let's see what Daniel Ek's riches do for the Gunners. Can he take them back to the top of the table? They haven't been there since 2004 when they went unbeaten to win the Premier League title. Can he bring them back to those glory days? Let's find out. Okay, here we are 3 years into the future, 3 years of Daniel Ek's ownership of Arsenal, and the Gunners are on the rise. I mean, in reality, they're mid-table fodder at the minute. But in this simulation, they've returned to the Champions League, and in the 3rd season they've actually just had their worst finish under Ek. In 2021 they came 4th, returning of the age-old joke of Arsenal celebrating coming 4th. I mean, they've been going absolutely wild getting 4th. Year after they went one better and came 3rd. But this season in 2023, with all the money, they've only been able to come 5th to ensure they will be playing in the Europa League, not the Champions League. They were pipped to the post by Tottenham, who finished 2 points ahead of them, and it was actually a draw on the final day with the rival Spurs that seems to have cost them. Had Arsenal won that game, would they have gone into the Champions League? Let's have a little look at the goal difference. They would have. It's a draw in the North London derby that has cost Daniel Ek's men. But not a lot has actually changed. Mikel Arteta still the manager. Ek still trusting in the process. He hasn't turned to one of his mates, Thierry Henry. He hasn't got him in charge like every other person seems to do on an Arsenal simulation whenever I've done them. One big change though is that Danny Ings is at Arsenal and he is the captain. Let's have a look at what's been going on. They won a Community Shield, that's about it. Aubameyang removed as captain and replaced by Danny Ings in 2022, and they've also improved the youth and training facilities. I mean, that's good. You want to see the youth coming through. Arsenal, a historic club, we've had some great players coming through the academy in years gone by. And that is only going to be happening more and more often under Daniel Ek, hopefully. Let's have a look at how they got on. So obviously this season. Let's have a look at how they got on. Obviously this season they came 5th. Let's go back to the first season of the simulation, where they came 4th and got 73 points on the board. A very, very good season. They finished above Spurs, they finished above Chelsea, they finished above Everton, they finished above Leicester, and they finished above Wolves, who surprised everyone by coming 5th. How far were they behind the champions Liverpool? 13 points. I mean, it's a fair gap, but in relative terms, I mean, they're about a million miles away from top spot in reality. Let's go into season 2, where they came third, and they did even better, getting 82 points, so they increased their tally by 9 points. And that would have been a damn impressive tally had Liverpool and Man City not both improved themselves. Liverpool got 98 points to win the title. So Arsenal were actually 16 points behind the winners. This time they were even further behind, despite having a brilliant season themselves. They only lost 6 games all season. Then this season their points tally dropped down to 69. Have Arsenal won anything under X so far? Let's have a little look. We'll go to the competitions. Champions League, obviously haven't won anything there. FA Cup, no, haven't won one since 2020. Europa League, they haven't been in the Europa League. They had the first season in the Europa League, they didn't win that either. And the League Cup, they haven't won that either. But at least they have been back in the Champions League. Let's have a look at the transfers. What kind of money has Daniel Ek been spending? Go to the first season and they spent £109 million. Well, that's a lie actually, because 2 of the signings came at the end of the season. Brought in Marcos Alonso for £27 million. I mean, I'm not going to point fingers, but if I was an Arsenal fan, if Daniel Ek takes Arsenal over and his first sign is Marcos Alonso for £27 million, I'd be really, really sad. I'd rather just... Well, I was going to say I'd rather get another Chelsea has-been. That's exactly what Marcos Alonso is. He's just going to be playing down the left alongside Willian, spraying balls about with David Luiz. I mean, just call yourselves the Chelsea reserves, lads. Call it a day. But they did add Thiago Almada, and that is a wonderful signing. They also got Lewis Ferguson from Aberdeen, which is strange. I mean, he's alright, but is he Arsenal quality? Not sure. They got Pablo Sarabia. He was the biggest signing at a potential fee of £33 million. Juan Larios, I don't know. Then at the end of the season, they added Danny Ings for a fee rising to £31 million and Jack Harrison for £22 million. Quite interesting. Few players have left. They got rid of Cedric for big money. Chambers went out on loan. Mari went out on loan. Pepe went out on loan. El Neni loaned out. A lot of change going on at Arsenal in the first season. We go into season 2. They didn't spend as much, but we will bear in mind that they did spend £53 million at the end of the season. So, who else have they added? Jerome Boateng on a free. And Bai Niang. I mean, what is this? 2012? One odd signing. Remember when he was at Watford? Just randomly, he scored 2 goals for them. For Arsenal, he got 6 goals. That's a naff signing. Sorry, lads. Who's gone out? They've sold El Neni. Mari loaned out again. They got rid of David Luiz. Callum Chambers sold. And Nketiah loaned out. Doesn't look like there's been any big departures. Let's go into the third season. This time they have spent big. The first real splash of the Daniel Ek era. 3 years in, £218 million spent. And I'll be honest, they look to have spent it fairly well in a lot of areas. We'll ignore Nathan Wood because I don't think that's a particularly great signing. But Yuri Tielemans, potential fee of £54 million. Yuri Tielemans, I mean, he's absolute top class in the middle of the park. A glorious footballer, and he's had a glorious start to life at the Emirates. Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich, his ludicrous CV just gets better and better, although he hasn't actually had a very good first year. He only played twice, and now he wants to leave, so that was a pretty poor signing actually. Koop Miners, one for the future, 25 years old, doing well. That's a decent signing from Inter Milan. He was doing well in Inter as well. Obviously at AZ Alkmaar. In reality, Dani Olmo, is that a new club record signing at £75 million? I'm going to assume it is. £75 million for Dani Olmo from RB Leipzig. How's he got on in his first year? Pretty damn good indeed. 12 goals, 6 assists, 5 man of the match awards. Also had a Jibril Sow and Vitor Ferreira on loan. Going out, they got rid of Pablo Mari, Torreira. A few loans. Lacazette's been sold, Maitland-Niles sold, Aubameyang sold, got rid of Marcos Alonso, they realised he was a waste of time. But 3 seasons in, Arsenal have spent a lot of money, £280 million in the first season, But 3 seasons in, Arsenal have spent a lot of money, and it has taken them back to the Champions League, except for the 3rd season where they've just missed out. But unfortunately, it hasn't added any trophies just yet. What we're going to do is simulate another 3 years into the future. That'll give Arsenal 6 years of Daniel Ek in charge. Can they win a trophy? Can they get back to the top of the Premier League? Or will they just keep throwing money at Chelsea rejects like they always do? Let's find out. Okay, here we are, the 21st of June 2026, 6 years of Daniel Ek's ownership under the watchful eye of Spotify. Less maybe said about them the better. I wonder who's the main sponsor now. Who could it be? Why was the first rockstar thought of was Ronnie Wood? He'll be over, he's over the hill now. I don't even care about the Rolling Stones. Let's just move on. Anyway, it seems like every time we look at this simulation, Arsenal have finished 5th. We left things finishing 5th in 2023. They followed that up with 2 third place finishes, and this year they're back to 5th. And again they were pipped by Tottenham for a place in the Champions League. Christ, Man City got 102 points. It's no wonder Arsenal haven't won a title. Christ, let's have a look at how they've been getting on. Let's go to 2024 where they came 3rd, and it was the closest they've got to the Premier League title since Daniel Ek took over. They got 82 points, just one shy of Liverpool in 2nd and 6 behind the eventual winners, Man City, who very nearly had an invincible season. They only lost 2 games, one of which was against Arsenal. 6 points behind the winners there. Let's go into 2025. This time they were only 4 points off the winners. 86 points, that's an incredible tally, the best they've got of the Daniel Ek era. But it still wasn't enough to get them on top spot and pip Liverpool to the title. 3rd season, back down to 5th, 66 points on the board. But all is not lost for Arsenal, because if you notice their last game was against Napoli. They have won a European Cup. What have they won? It was the Europa League. In extra time, Ciro Immobile's penalty, a new sign, and Dani Olmo also on the score sheet, also scored a goal. The big money signings have done it for Arsenal, and they have delivered a somewhat major trophy to ensure that in 2027 they will still be playing Champions League football. Have there been any other trophies? Let's have a look. No Champions Leagues, no Premier Leagues obviously. Europa League 2026 we've just seen there. FA Cup, no FA Cups. They did get beaten in the 2024 final though. And in the League Cup, no success either. So 6 years in, and they've at least got a trophy, a Europa League, and at least Arsenal are back and established themselves as a top 6 club. They haven't finished outside the top 5 ever since Daniel Ek took over. We'd joke about Arsenal being a proposed Super League club, but the way they've been playing in reality, you just look at their decline in recent years. They do not belong in a supposed European Super League alongside the best teams that are apparently in the world. But under Daniel Ek, things seem to be getting a little bit better. Let's have a look at the transfers, see how they have been getting on, what kind of money have they been spending. In 2024, they only signed 3 players, but they spent £154 million on them. Lucas Hernandez, Marcus Edwards and Rafael Leao. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Let's have a look at Marcus Edwards, because Marcus Edwards is an interesting one. He's played for England 4 times now, but he is a product of the Tottenham Academy. And at Arsenal, he's done alright, not too bad at all. What about Rafael Leao? £84 million. Average ratings have been good, but 15 goals in his first season, 10 in his second. I suppose that's not bad in all competitions, 20 and 19 respectively. That's alright, we'll give him that. And Lucas Hernandez at the back. That is a good sign, he's done well. Hasn't played as much in his 3rd season, but that's fine. Moving to the next year where they spent £136 million. And it's another 4 big names. Right, I'm very surprised here. If I told you Arsenal in 2026 were going to sign Andy Robertson, Josh Kimmich, Ethan Ampadu and Jared Bowen, there is no chance in hell you would say that Jared Bowen would be the most expensive. But that is exactly what he is. They paid West Ham a potential fee of £60 million for Jared Bowen. They got Robertson for 25, Kimmich for 54 and Ampadu for 25.5. Let's have a look at Jared Bowen. Has he done alright at least? Yeah, he has actually. On the back of the season I was going to say what season he just had, but he was in the Championship. They signed a Championship player for £60 million. Jesus Christ, Daniel. Stop just throwing your money around. Pay more to Liam Gallagher or whoever. He probably doesn't need the money. Josh Kimmich, how's he got on? That is an excellent signing. And he's playing excellently as well. That is the kind of player Arsenal want to see at the Emirates. Not the likes of El Neni or Xhaka. Andy Robertson, he's doing well as well. Obviously they haven't got enough Scottish left backs. I'm going to assume Kieran Tierney's still there. He is. So what use is Andy Robertson? They're just hoarding Scottish left backs. Like Spotify hoard all the money. Or something along those lines. Anyway, into season 3, only spent £27 million. Ciro Immobile, the big name arriving from Liverpool, he scored the winner in the cup final. And he got 7 goals. He's done pretty damn well. Not sure why Liverpool signed the year before if they weren't going to play him. But he's done alright at Arsenal. Kevin Mbabu, he's came from Wolfsburg. Newcastle fans will know him well from the couple of times he played. And that's all he played for Arsenal. Also got Luis Alberto on a free from Chelsea, Spanish midfielder. Best known for what he's been doing at Lazio. But at Arsenal, 10 assists. That's pretty damn good. But the big thing to note in season 3 is that there's more money going out than there is coming in. They've sold Thomas Partey, they've sold Kingsley Coman, they've sold Martinelli's gone, Ings has gone. They both went on frees. Nathan Wood went to Leeds. I mean, even the season before they brought in £51 million. They're getting a lot of money coming in. £88 million in 2024. Who was the big departure in that season? Rob Holding to Man United for £80 million. Oh, come on, Man United, Christ's sake. You've probably still got Phil Jones at that point in time. But I think the interesting thing to note is, this 6th season we've just looked at is the first time of the Daniel Ek era that Arsenal have brought in more money than they've spent. And that might be because in the summer of 2024, Daniel Ek scaled down the funding. Is that going to change Arsenal in the years to come? They have still won a trophy. They're still managed by Mikel Arteta. They're going to be in the Champions League next season. They've got a 4.5-star reputation worldwide. They're still classed as rich. I mean, what kind of funding are they going to be withdrawn? Surely they're still going to be spending big money. Surely they're still getting all the top Premier League money playing in the Champions League, etc., etc. But what kind of difference will that make in the coming years? But this is where we're going to leave things. Let me know down in the comments below if you want to simulate this further, if you want another 6 seasons, if you want a part 2, if you want to see how far Arsenal can go with Daniel Ek as owner. You need to let me know in the comments below. But here is where we are going to leave things. After 6 seasons, Daniel Ek's Arsenal are a Champions League club. They've won a trophy, they're signing big players, and all seems to be well with the world. But still, they haven't won a Premier League title. We will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo. And until next time, we will see you around.